Okay, Fluoride Jones himself has basically mentioned that he'd like to see more film reviews from me and maybe even some more shoot 'em up game footage, which, yeah, I'm going to put that up anyway, just to throw curveballs. But, right, so my recent haul of videos, Meru. I took a chance on this one. It's a documentary made by the first ascenders of Meru. No one's ever climbed that before. Everyone's failed. I mean, everyone failed. Even they failed in 2008. And they show that. And then they go back and attempt it again. A very profound movie. Oh my gosh. I spent the whole second half of this documentary movie with my mouth wide open and a couple of tears flowing down my eyes. I mean, wow. Yeah. So if you like your mountain movies, big rock climbing movies, then Miro is one hell of a documentary. If you ever want advice on life, just go and listen to a big face climber, a big rock climber, Just listen to them. Because I tell you something, they've lived. They've also died in large numbers, but wow. They get a perspective. That's for sure. Right. From perspective to prospective, right? Prospect. First saw this on streaming and I liked it. It's a sci-fi movie. It's got atmosphere, as I always say, because that's a bit of a pun. If you want a little sci-fi fix, yeah, I like it. I think it's quite well done. It's like a high-grade B movie, bit like Humanity Bureau is a high-grade B movie. Well, not even high grade, but an important movie. This one, yeah, I do recommend it. You're either going to like it or you're not. It's going to be a Marmite for you, you know what I mean? Anyway, this is not a recent one, but I thought I'd mention it. In this movie with the ISIS and Ra, blue and red, they do mention the 10-day blackout. Okay, and so obviously some cataclysmic false flag has happened in the past with a blackout. And of course, don't forget the movie that comes with it, the short movie called, where is it? Yeah, Nexus Dawn. Of course, that's Red Dawn. And 2022, Blackout. Okay? So, I rewatched the Crazies. I showed you the picture of it, of the PSYOP ribbon, the yellow PSYOP ribbon in the movie. It is a potential drone dispersal of a chemical virus agent, rage virus, whatever, which I'm sure they have. Whether they are actually going to use it or not, I don't know. But it's a fairly good movie, and it's in the extras to this movie. Yeah, I've watched the extras, and everybody talking about, it could be real. It could happen. It could be real. And every single one of these, it could be real. It could be real. You know what I mean? So, yeah, the drone dispersal of a chemical agent on the West Coast, possible, but I don't know. It's more likely to be a fake nuke. We'll get onto that in a second. In fact, let's get onto that now. Right, so I picked up Chernobyl, the series. I showed you the 311 on the number plate, blatantly. November the 3rd, 2020. Very likely. Is nuclear power real? I don't know. I would say yes, but nuclear bombs could be just a fake fear stick. Whether they're real or not is almost immaterial, because it's about the fake fear stick. It's a fear stick to wield over the public. And Hiroshima is a thriving city today. How the hell can that happen? On top of a ground zero. Everyone says it was firebombed, and Nagasaki as well. So I reckon they were firebombed, not nuked. Anyway, Chernobyl series, very well done. I do recommend it. I mean, I've seen all the documentaries on Chernobyl over the years, and this is pretty faithful to the story that's already out there with Legasov and the guy who actually caused the whole thing. They say this thing is telling you blatantly that it's not so much a problem with the RBMK reactor at all. It was just these guys in the control room doing this test and just taking the reactor to absolute xenon death and then raising it up and blowing it, literally blowing it. And it was down to one guy effectively telling them to do it. So this one guy caused Chernobyl. We can argue about whether nuclear power is real or not. We can, but I would say, yeah, Chernobyl was as advertised, pretty much. And Mayak too. Mayak apparently 3 to 4 times more Curies released over time than Chernobyl, forming the East Urals radioactive tract, EURT. I've done videos on that. Yeah, Greenfoot, whatever. We'll see. Anyway, Dragged Across Concrete, the latest Mel Gibson, Vince Vaughn, Michael J. White job. This has huge plot holes. I'm not going to do any spoilers, but the bank bit where the guy's using a recording can't be. It's not, because he's effectively talking to people who are giving him replies, and they can't be on a recorder, on a tape. So that was a big plot hole. Plus the hostage and what she did is a completely ridiculous plot hole as well. But it made the movie more, exciting. But this is a gun confiscation agenda movie. Big time. That's what it is, because these guys here, these white guys here, Mr. Vogelman, they're just trigger happy nut jobs. They're shooting everyone for no good reason at all. It's to make guns look bad. It's gun confiscation, this movie, okay? Now, if you can look past that, then it's mildly entertaining, a bit dragged out. It's Dragged Across Concrete. It's a dragged out 2.5 hour movie. It is just about watchable. I would definitely prefer Den of Thieves, Criminal Squad to this, though. But if you can pick it up cheap, then yeah, okay. Right. Recently watched Wall to World, the Ulysses cut. This is the new cut that's come out on 4K and etc. Anyway, I've got the just the Blu-ray one. I've watched the Ulysses cut. Submarine towers, 9/11 towers, the trade towers, down under the water. So you got both. You got the trade towers and the submarine missile fake nuke on Seattle. You got that there in the movie. Other stuff, well, of course, it's Bikini Atoll, isn't it? They're living on what they call atolls, and the girl's called Bikini Atoll. It's all nuke reference as well. So yeah, it's all there. Right. I picked that up very cheap. Thank God it was very cheap. It's not good. It's another generic Liam Neeson, Taken kind of thing, retribution film that he is now typecast for. He was amazingly bad. His son is supposed to be killed, and he's lying in the morgue, and he's standing over his son's body with absolutely no emotion whatsoever. A bit like a fake death of his wife. And that funeral where his sons are smirking. Right, yeah, I finally managed to pick up the Humanity Bureau, a decent copy. A very empty movie, really, very short and empty. It's not a great movie, everyone says that, but it's not about that. It's one of the most important movies ever made. That's why I picked it up, because it's all there. It's all there. The West Coast false flag, the fact that it's fake, that it's supposed to be nuke and there's no radioactivity, the German guy getting caught over there as a boy when the false flag goes off and he's stuck. He hasn't got out. He hasn't made his escape plan. And of course, well, Cage he is caged up, and he tries to make his Logan's Run with the girl and his son, and I'm not going to say, but he tries to make it to out of America, out of New America, Escape from New America. There it is, Escape from New America. Figure it out, and look at the timing. Look, AD 230. That's only 10 years time, and this is long after the false flag. So the false flag, November the 3rd, 2020. 10 years later, you got this. Escape from New America. America being an absolute mess. A regime as well. I'm rewatching Apocalypse Now Redux. That's the only version to watch. That's the one with the Playboy girls in the helicopter, and the French, of course. The French were in Vietnam before everyone else, and that's the one you need. Francis Ford Coppola, of course, CO prefix, just like, well, there we go. Marlon Brando, Sheen, Hopper, Fishburne, yeah, and Harrison Ford. So you got another Ford, you see, and Harris and Ford. So anyway, forget that. It's a classic, but I've noticed something new. I took a picture of it the other day on screen. Opening scene with Martin Sheen is he's lying there with a bottle of beer with the number 33 in large letters right in front of him. So like 33rd degree, Gay Mason. Right, pick this up for next to nothing. I'm glad I did, because it's not good. It's like you probably never heard of it because it bombed, because it's not good. It's the director didn't really know what he was doing. He tried. You can see he tried to do a Lock Stock. As you can see, it mentions Lock Stock, but he hasn't got the skills of, what's the guy's name? Mr. Snatch, Mr. Man from Uncle, Guy Ritchie. Yeah. And of course this one in the extras, Guy Ritchie saying it radiates, just as you're seeing a submarine and an explosion. And that poster on the wall that says the future, and again it looks like the west coast of America getting boomed up. Quite pretty good. Virtually every movie he's ever done is good. Revolver's not that good, but Snatch, Lock, Stock, and this, I recommend them all. I do. All right, I'll keep that to that. I do recommend Miro in a big way. You probably can't pick it up cheaply. I think I paid a fair bit for it, but profound stuff. Okay, they're climbing for like 2 weeks up this virtually vertical granite face. 2 weeks. Yeah, I'm not going to do a spoiler on it. It's quite something, all right?